It's nothing like a 1995 plastic very long time. And that's why food waste doesn't contain any plastic. That's why you can use the food waste in the animals, or you can use the compost. Also, I already mentioned that standard if you put the dust plastic with water, yes. And after clean plastic, you can use the recycled material or become a plastic curer, biomass. You can sell the plastic, clean plastic to the biomass. That is plastic is just garbage, but if you clean, you can sell to the plastic. Yes, with water. It's already dry.
Optik, katanya apa? Optik. Oh, okay. Ten seconds. 10 seconds.
It's a plastic only. So, where is the food?
Nice. Yes, very good. Apple.
Divided the garbage for recycling.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. Oh. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.
Most of us think we're all going green. And if we have a green product, we will get people to buy the green product because it's green. Because they want to save the planet. It doesn't work like that. It's not as simple as that. Especially in this part of the world. In Germany, there is a bigger wave of green consumers. But when I look at the reality here, what people are buying at the moment is stuff that helps their health. You know, again, let me be very blunt. I remember once I went to talk to a sales consultant. I have a bit of a shocking microphone here. Maybe I have to hold it like this. I think it works better. So I had this, I listened to this talk of a sales consultant, and you know, he said, actually in life it's like that. You can sell things if you help people to make more money, if you help people to get more healthy, or if you, I don't know whether this is politically correct to say here, if you can help people to have more sex. Those three things, then you can sell. And the problem with green is, it doesn't really do any of those three. Sometimes it can help you save more money. Those are the easiest green products to sell. But the problem is, and that's why sometimes we need to make a closer link to human health. The only thing that's selling high volume in Malaysia that I would classify as a green product is organic food. Why? Because it helps people's health. That's why they are buying it. Everything else is a tough sell. Look at the green items in shops, you know, unless they help people's health, or maybe they have an additional social component. Very few people are buying green stuff to save the planet. That's my experience. So learn that lesson. Just having a green product and selling a green product doesn't guarantee you have a commercial success. You need to have as well a very good business plan. You need to have a very clear focus. What are you selling to which target customers, and what benefits are you delivering for them? Especially if you could save them money with a green product, that helps. But here in Malaysia, it's more difficult. A lot of things are subsidized. Water is extremely cheap. Electricity is still very cheap and heavily subsidized. And petrol, even though it's gone up, it's still only a third of the cost that you will pay in Germany or in the UK. So bottom line is, because the cost of resource consumption is still heavily subsidized, the return on investment for fuel efficiency, I think our friends here who were here earlier on, I think they've left already, they're doing the fuel efficiency. It takes here maybe 2 or 3 times longer than in Australia or Japan to recover your money if you invest in that. So that's the tricky thing. But the good news is, from an environmental and efficiency point of view, fuel, electricity will go up in cost. I'm saying it's a good news from an environmental point of view. Obviously, the end consumer doesn't really appreciate that, but it will help us to focus on efficiency. You know what I read? Malaysia consumes 40% more electricity than the neighboring countries. I consumes more, but if I would be blunt and brutal, I could say waste 40% more electricity than the neighboring countries. That costs you a lot of money. The subsidies will have to be paid from somewhere, right? Yeah. So it's usually taxpayers' money that will have to pay for it. So we are subsidizing to be more inefficient. But the flip side of it, the efficiency opportunities in Malaysia are still all there. Companies and buildings have not yet implemented energy efficiency measures. So the business can still be made in the future. So if you get ready now with a good product, as soon as fuel, electricity, and water gets more expensive, it will be easier for you to sell your efficiency solution. When you do green products, green technology, you need to have stamina. Don't give up too easily. I started a green building materials business in Germany 8 years ago. And we thought, wow, our technology is so great, so amazing, within 2 years we'll be rich and we can retire. After 2 years we were nearly bankrupt. And we were fighting, where do we get more money from? And we were really frustrated. And I started that business with one of my best friends, and our friendship nearly broke apart. But we kept going because we believed in our technology. It took us another 2 years as the tide turned. Now we are 7 years old. At the moment our business is taking off like a rocket. But if we would have given up at that time, we would have lost all of our investment. Maybe the technology would have gone. So you need belief. You need stamina. And at that point in time, my belief that our technology, we basically turn waste material into cement replacement. I'm not sure whether you're aware of that, but cement is responsible for 6% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions. Because, okay, let me do a quick question. There are 2 or 3 people here that have listened to me more often. They are not allowed to participate. Okay, my sexy, high-tech, green-tech pencil case that I auctioned off for 150 ringgit, the one who answers this question correctly will get it. So, very precious gift. What is chemical formula for the raw material of limestone? No idea? Calcium carbonate, what is it? Yeah, calcium carbonate, CaCO2. That is the chemical formula. Okay, one applause for this gentleman there. A young guy, yes, come here. Have your Greek innovation pencil case. So you're one of the very few. So your name is? Right. Okay, nice to meet you. Right. Here we go. That's for you. Oh, wow. Wow. Proud dad. Excellent. Yes. And calcium carbonate, CaCO2. What do we do with that to produce the cement? This is the limestone hills when you go to Ipoh. That is the raw material, calcium carbonate. Mother Nature absorbs the carbon dioxide and turns it into physical carbonate. When we manufacture cement, we use fuel, coal or other fuel to burn it at 1,400 Celsius, and the carbonate turns into CO2. So nearly half of the weight of the limestone goes up as carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. That's why 1 ton of cement is about 1 ton of carbon dioxide. YTL and Lafarge are more efficient in Malaysia, which is good news. I think their average is about 0.77 or 0.8 tons of carbon dioxide per ton of cement produced. But it represents in Malaysia about 6% of Malaysia's CO2 emissions, and worldwide roughly 6%. China's efficiency is not so high. So our technology is to replace cement with waste material. And the good news is we get even better performance. But to change your industry is very difficult because the players who are making money in the industry are not interested in change, right? Because they're making good money and they've got all the connections to everyone. And the building industry is very slow in changing. They want to see your product apply here, check 6 months later, check 1 year later, if it really delivering long-term performance. So when you come up with a new
to develop smart cities, cities that are aimed to be environmentally friendly and for achieving sustainable growth. Hitachi believes that a smart city management infrastructure is a critical part to developing a smart city. Why? Why is it so? Hitachi believes that smart city management infrastructure, an information platform that uses IT to connect various infrastructure systems, will help to develop new and exciting services and values. As a result, new ways of urban management, which respond strongly to changing social needs, are possible. Hitachi wishes to support urban developments which enable people to live in both comfort and convenience, and to preserve the environment so as to achieve sustainable growth. Now, we will provide you concrete ideas on how Hitachi's smart city management infrastructure will help improve your life. A notable spectrum of data from all over the city is gathered, visualized, and used at one place. A new way of managing cities emerges. Take easy traffic congestion, for instance. A new approach to relieve traffic congestion is to discourage the entry of private vehicles into the city. People arriving in the city from the suburbs are encouraged to park their cars at a park and ride facility. Alternatively, they can choose to pay a toll and drive their own car. However, this will increase their cost of transportation as they need to pay tolls. So, now, on the screen, we notice that traffic congestion is particularly bad in the city center and surrounding areas. So the city is trying to adjust the toll weekly for private vehicles for the next month. To forecast traffic congestion, information about activities in the city, then roadwork and factors that will occur over the next month is gathered. From this data, we learn that road construction is planned for some highly congested roads. The traffic forecast for the first week of the next month is estimated. The transit time required to transit the congested road is calculated, and we find that the transit time is worse than for other roads and is worse than usual for this road during the road construction period. So, to find ways to reduce traffic volume on the road, we run a simulation in which the toll for private vehicles is temporarily raised from 5 to 7 bucks. As a result, from the result of simulation, we find that the degree of congestion will decline. Hence, it is highly recommended for drivers of private vehicles to make use of the park and ride facilities. By doing so, we hope to reduce the number of vehicles entering the city, and hence it will help to reduce traffic congestion. 1 month later, 3 or 4 cars arrive. When the actual congestion is measured, it turns out to be less than the amount forecasted in the simulation. When we bring city data together and view it as a whole, a new way of managing cities emerges. By pinpointing where in the city congestion occurs and under what circumstances, we can form effective measures to help reduce traffic congestion all year round. That's all from me for now. Thank you so much. This is proudly brought to you by Hitachi. Inspire the next.
Yes.